It's the Pod in the City weekly roundup. I'm John.
And I'm Amanda. Blake Lively continues her cancellation tour, and we love to see it.
Global All Stars is here. RuPaul's Drag Race is back, and you're gonna like it.
And the kids over in Vanderpump Rules land continue to bring all the messy heat in the tabloids this week, and we love to see it.
All that and so much more on this week's episode of the Pod in the City weekly roundup. Whoa. We came in there early. We got in there, baby, early. Right on in.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
How are ya?
I'm good. Everyone.
I was asking our fabulous audience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, if you're watching and you're not already subscribed, I would assume if you're watching here in like the first second, you're probably already subscribed. Right, so we should actually probably say this maybe like we more later.
Right.
And we forget. It depends on how thirsty I'm feeling. And right now I'm feeling very thirsty because I have to get a new phone because my lens broke and I can't record my Barbie TikToks anymore. First world problem.
He cried. And I was like, well, you don't have to actually pay for the new phone. You just have to
stupid.
They hand you your phone, they put you on a new plan. And John's like, guys, well, I'm not actually paying for it anyway. And I was like, and you cried?
I thought that I thought it was gonna be like hundreds and hundreds of I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Anyway, we're so glad that y'all are here. What we do want to say is, I also want to thank, we have so many brand new Patreon subscribers. If you're
I don't know what happened this week, but people are liking it.
I wanted to put out a question to our new Patreon people. Let us know, why did you subscribe this week?
Yeah.
Is it because we were...
Because yesterday I was doing an Instacart and like 4 came in and I texted John. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, we got like in the last week, we've gotten like 10 people.
Yeah.
And we don't know if maybe... See, I want to believe it's because last week we didn't talk about an episode because I'm trying to will into existence that I won't have to recap episodes on the Patreon.
I would
somehow.
love it, but I mean, we'll
but again, it's like, what the hell do we talk about?
What do you guys
people want to listen to us talk? Yes, please engage. That's something we're looking for too. If you are one of our Patreon listeners, or if you're a listener on here too, solely, send us a message, leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to hear.
And if you're on the rewatch crew on YouTube, comment, baby.
Yes.
Rewatch crew kicking.
You know what? And a lot of you guys who are on the live crew, you guys are killing it too because you're doing what I said, which is leaving a comment after as well.
It's such a
you know
safe
what?
group.
It just like I got chills just now.
Yeah.
Because of you guys.
All right. Well, let's
anyway,
speaking of which, why don't we talk about Justine says maybe it's the Pillow Talk episode. Oh,
okay.
Salo Ballaway says, I love the Pillow Talk episode. So why don't you go ahead and throw up some of these things?
So we did do an episode where it kind of just organically happened.
Well, first we each watched a totally different episode of Designing Women by accident. And then we came back together and then we just kind of talked. And then I was like,
it was because I was grilling Amanda, which that's kind of one thing I'm really good at. And I also really like.
It was my 4th podcast of the day. So I was like emotionally just drained. I didn't care at all what I was saying.
She was ready to let y'all have it. Anyway, we talked about some interesting shit. And then last week we also, or this week, I'm actually considering going back and cutting some pieces of it. The more I slept on it, because I was somewhat shook by the things that we talked about.
On the Sex and the City episode, you mean?
No.
I'm more worried about what the Sex and the City one.
Oh.
Because it's just out there. I don't care.
Well, the story that I told on the other one was a little...
Oh, I thought it was fine. That didn't even faze me, honestly.
Oh, well, we talk about kinks. How about that?
Yes, because the episode of Sex and the City was about kinks, and we got into kinky stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
So the next one is good, too. Anyway. That's on the girls episode. Did you throw up that picture, Joan? It's this one.
Oh, yes.
Girls.
Anyway, girls.
And then Sex and the City.
Oh, my God. This episode was really good, too. We love it. Iconic. Now,
squeeze.
If we have anyone listening from France, please tell us how our pronunciation is. La douleur exquise. Exquise. Exquise.
We both listened to like audio of it being said to us, and we still weren't happy with it. I'm like,
I mean, you know, in our acting life, I did have to do dialect work on one.
So did I. I had to do French.
It was the same show. I think we've talked about it. I
don't know why we're being secret.
When I had to go, when my line was, "Pussy, they've got a monde," and I had it sounded like that. Anyway. You guys are here for news and gossip, not our bullshit. So, just
you're such a bitch. All right.
Anyway,
all right, let's get into hot topics. I mean, wait, is that it?
There was breaking news. Yeah,
breaking news. Okay, hang on. Let me play the hot topics theme. Great,
guys.
Oh my God.
Salt Lake City is coming back with a vengeance in less than a month. And I'm going to tell you this. Okay, so today they released the trailer. And at the beginning of the trailer, I was
Did you get it from Justine? I was recording and I got
Justine.
My phone was blowing. Me and Jody were like, oh my God, the trailer's here. And we both paused our recording and just sat and like watched it, just like in silence together. And we're like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
At first I was like, yeah, this looks good. I was like, oh, Mary Cosby. But oh my God, by the end of it, I literally was like, oh, I was like floating above my seat, like
Anya Gallant Dunkel, aka Brianna. Oh my God, what are we gonna do with this guy? Says, oh my God, that trailer made me horny. And that's exactly what your text said. You're like, at first I was like, yeah, but then I was wet.
Seriously. I'm really excited actually, because all the rest of the housewives are kind of like
really
Dubai right now.
People getting crazy, like Jersey. I listened to Heather McDonald interview Margaret.
Oh, okay.
And it was fine. Heather McDonald, of course, like one-upped her on everything.
I
actually knew about Pizzagate too. And Margaret's like, oh, you did?
See, isn't Pizzagate that thing that they were saying that there were like kids or like?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
They were like.
I texted Jody and Justine and was like, "What's Pizzagate?" And Justine was like, "That Epstein thing." And I was like, "No,
but it is it's their pizza oven, right?"
Yeah, I was like, "That's what that was." And then like Heather clearly cut that part out of the podcast because she's like, "For anyone who doesn't know, like me, Heather McDonald, who obviously was there at the OJ murders,
I think she was also at January 6th. Anyway,
I think that's actually accurate, not even a joke. Anyway, she's like, "Go ahead, Margaret, tell us what Pizzagate is," and then it just cuts. So she cut it. I'm like, this thing must be salacious. And then it's just that they signed up to do a pizza business together and like he kept the oven or something. Anyway, I don't give a shit. Let's talk about Salt Lake City.
Well, like, yeah. I'm super excited for Salt Lake. Very, very, very excited. Are you not?
I'm always, again, this was the very first Housewives I ever watched and also watched from the beginning. When me and Jody first teamed up and everyone was thrilled about it. Jody dumped her co-host.
Who still do like you though, Amanda?
There's a few.
At least over here, I'm the hated one. You're the loved one.
Perfect.
You're glowing all the time, Amanda.
Why does everyone say you're glowing? Where was I?
I didn't say that. I said, everyone always loves you, Amanda.
Yeah, I can tell you love it. Anyway, Jody's like, okay, Salt Lake City starting. Will you watch this? And we can kind of cover this because at this point we both had fuck all to do. But so we just started Salt Lake City. So it's like my baby, my bebe. And I followed it from the beginning. Here's my takeaways really quickly. I hate that Mary Cosby's still on it. I don't know why we're still giving her money or support. She should be in jail.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she should be on there. If they got rid of Monica, get rid of Mary Cosby.
Yeah.
She's worse than Monica.
Also, Meredith seems drunk in the entire thing.
Meredith? Okay, at the beginning of this, they each do their kind of tagline kind of thing. Like it starts with Heather being like, "We've got the receipts, proof, whatever." And then it comes to Meredith and she's like, "The rumors are true. We're back." And I was thinking,
slurring.
I was like, wow, she's playing up her bit, because that was the thing, was she's like the nastiness and the rumors.
Yeah. Is that what she was doing?
But then as she kept talking, she kept having other bits in it where she'd be
and
like,
in scene.
yes, it's time or whatever. And she'd be like, yeah, it's time. I'm like,
you're going
girl,
into like a Jennifer Coolidge accent there.
There's a point when you're taking too many things, like reel it in, girl. It's okay to feel.
Drunk. There's also
no,
like
I think she's taking a lot of pills and she's not feeling.
She yes. There's like one part where like Mary's yelling at her and Meredith has this insane, I'm hoping it's a wig because her bangs are like these blunt kind of
she has like a Breakfast at Tiffany's look on.
Is that what it is? I hope it's a
she's
wig.
Doing an Aubrey Hepburn like kind of thing here, and then they're trying to make a bang, but it's like they took a chunk of hair and just kind of
like a Trump.
It's like took a piece of hair here.
Yeah.
It is wild.
She's trumping it.
Now, there is a new girl, Bronwyn.
Who, now, when that happened, I looked out for my phone and I was like, is that the same Bronwyn? And Jody's like, no. And I was like, it's the only time I've ever heard that name. And she's like, yeah, me too. So it's a different girl named Bronwyn.
This one is a friend of Lisa's, which is helpful because Lisa did need a friend, I guess. Like,
yeah. Well, she kind of came back last year, I think, last season. Ooh, my edible just kicked in.
I kind of have forgotten last season. I'm going to need to rewatch it because they did end up in this sisterhood thing kind of because at the end they exposed Monica.
The beach scene is one of the best things I've ever witnessed on reality TV.
It is very good.
It was so in on its own joke. And even the women seem like they're in on it too.
But like, it also like seemed real-ish.
No, I believed it, but like I think that they also were aware of how amazing this was. That the wind was blowing and
do you believe that none of them knew about Reality Von Teese?
I don't know. Now, that would be pretty shocking.
In this, they allude that Whitney has reached out. Oh my God.
Oh, is it Whitney that she's yelling at? Okay.
I think it is because the way that they don't show people. They show subtitles of them talking like in another room or something. And you hear Heather being like, I cannot believe that you would reach out to our mortal enemy for information. And I think Whitney's like, I had to do what I had to do. I actually can't remember. I only watched it once. But what I remember was like, but I don't like them arguing. And I also think Heather looked really bad last season. So I'll be interested to see what happens with Heather. She was not my favorite at all after last season.
Season 1, she was like everyone's favorite. And then she's just slowly gone down for me.
Because I think what people liked about her was she seemed the most real.
Yeah.
And I think she's now a person who's let fame and all of that go up too.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was exciting. Yeah, we're going to be covering that. I'm calling dibs that we will be talking about that on this live.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you love Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, make sure that you're tuning in. We also have been watching OC. Amanda did watch it.
Well, okay, so I saw on TikTok a scene, I think it might be for next episode, that Shannon Bedore, who is like, I love her so much. I love Shannon Bedore. And she's like crying and saying like how this guy, like John, she didn't, like something about the money situation. Then she's crying and they're all comforting her. That's next episode, right? It must have been a preview for next.
Well, what they ended this last episode with was Alexis being like, I have videos of her and I'm going to show them. Johnny J has videos of her on the night of her DUI. And if they get out, they will ruin her.
No one wants to see that though. I don't know anything about this franchise really other than the one season that I watched, but just the optics of that is so shitty that they would bring in this. This is sick that they're making her do this. I don't think anyone's enjoying watching it.
I think that Alexis thinks that it's going to get her fame or get her back in the spotlight, but like everyone's hating her because of it.
Awful. And then also coming down on somebody who's like admitted alcoholic who's going through like it's not cute to now punch down on her and continue to talk about how much she drinks. Like she knows this
also,
is not
like
cute.
She had a DUI where she was driving with her dog and she ran into a house and then got out of the car and tried to pretend that she was just out walking her dog and abandoned her car. So,
didn't even know that.
What else worse is there? Oh, you're going to bring out videos of what? Her drunk and then driving away? Like, we're not like, What more do you need to do?
Yeah, just to show how drunk she was. It doesn't matter how drunk
she's
she
already
was.
at the lowest, shittiest point. You need to beat her up more. Like,
oh, Justine says she's still drinking. Well, I guess everyone needs to just figure it out at this time.
I can understand that. And even if she is still drinking, I do think that, like, what more do you need, Alexis? You already have her man. She is already, like, in the lowest spot. Like, what do you need to kill her? What do you need her dead?
I love that Alexis. I just love watching Alexis, who is clearly so worried and bothered about him, because you do, and I know from personal experience, you lose them the way you get them. So like, just hearing her constantly like talk about like how, it's like Scheana with the guy that put up her TV, constantly talking about how in love they are. It's like, okay, you're just trying to convince yourself, ultimately he's going to leave you for someone else. It's hilarious to watch. That's just my opinion on that. Okay.
Breaking news. Allegedly, Sabrina Carpenter has dumped Barry Keoghan over his drunken partying. This is coming from a account on TikTok called Breaking News. Breaking_news. So I'm sure this is legitimate, but I could see this coming. Could see this coming a mile away. No?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people, I feel like this is everyone's opinion when they hear that she was dating him, is everyone would go, oh, like it must be a true love, because obviously she's not dating him because they match.
Honey, there's a lot of people who think he is so fine.
Really? I don't think
so. There's got to be at least one person listening here who is like, oh, he's so sexy. I swear. People lust for this man.
I guess how I knew him is from Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is not a great.
Thank you, Sala Wallaway. He looks so gross. I do agree. He looked kind of good at Coachella, where he was in the front, like taking pictures of her, like running back and forth.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, but that's kind of like. Here's my problem. He got her a birthday cake for her 25th birthday, and he got her this. It had a photo of he had a photo of Leonardo DiCaprio on it, and it was like something about you're not 25 yet, or something about like wanting to be with girls under 25. Oh, like the premise behind this cake is like, I get it, that he wouldn't date you anymore because you're 25 now.
Julia Elizabeth, your little icon came up here. You look like really young, so maybe do you not know what Jonathan Taylor Thomas looks like?
He does look like Jonathan Taylor. He looks like if Jonathan Taylor Thomas gotten a lot of fights, like was in a fight. Okay,
he's like the Mickey Rourke Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Exactly. Okay. That's what I'm saying. He's not like the cutie Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He's like, I get it.
Okay. Anyway, breaking shoes on that. Oh, can I say something? Speaking of breaking shoes, Justine sent me the Doughboys are officially coming. They don't tour because Weiger doesn't like traveling. They are coming to Toronto, meaning that they might come to Calgary. Can you imagine?
All I'll say is never meet your idols, right? You may want to just avoid.
I don't want to meet them. I would lose my shit. No,
yeah, like so you might just want to like this. You might just want to like.
But I want to go to it.
Oh.
And just like be in the room with all that testosterone.
I want to be in the room where it happens.
Yeah. And all that UCB and like testosterone coming at you.
I can only imagine the smell radiating off that stage.
Just off the two of them.
Anyway.
We're doing fruit and vegetable month. Okay, anyway.
This bitch. Yeah. More keeps coming out about stupid Blake Lively. And she's not stupid, but I think she kind of is because she's really awful. This whole situation has come out where this is this old interview with her and Parker Posey when they were doing the movie Cafe Society, which I remember that one.
Oh, absolutely.
She was 7 months pregnant, clearly visibly pregnant. And the interviewer is like, congratulations on your little bump. And Blake Lively's like, oh, I like your little bump too. Yours is really cute.
And then her and Parker Posey just continued to, they went on to just be total. I think that it was triggering for millions of girls who have been bullied by girls exactly like watching that and then going back to look at what the poor woman's face looked like, the interviewer, who we find out just had found out that she's infertile
and could not have children. And all she was trying to do was compliment her on being pregnant. And
Nicole says, isn't Blake the one who had her wedding on a plantation?
Did.
Oh, that sounds about right.
She also tried to start a whole like lifestyle blog that really centered around Southern antebellum, which is like the time of slavery.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna say this is a Nepo baby. Guys, guess what? It's a Nepo baby. I'm sorry if I just blasted your ears out, but this Nepo bitch. This is a running theme. You know, I have not been on my Nepo baby kick lately, but the movie I saw this week was complete Nepo baby product.
Oh no, I know it was. That is the most Nepo baby.
I cannot
the movie you
even believe
is as Nepo baby as Northwest being Simba and the Lion King.
You know what? This might have been more. I actually think this was worse. Yeah. This was more. Anyway, get your ears ready for it. I wanted to give Parker Posey the benefit of the doubt because I really like Parker Posey.
I mean, waiting for Guffman. Yeah, I need to think that she's not a bitch, but I did this not a great look. And you know, Parker Posey's over here going like, come on, man, because she's kind of just residual damage here. But like, I
felt like at the beginning, Parker Posey was trying to deflect the situation because she was like, oh, you like my little bumps? And she like points to her boobs, and then she's like, oh, I have a big bump, and she's like shows her butt like to try and deflect the awkwardness. But then the lady who we have now found out is like the director of fashion for she's a professor of fashion, and that was like her whole intention. She asks them what they like about the costumes, and Blake Lively's like, now this was also during the time when this was more of a common thing, when they would like, when being like, would you ask the men that question? So Blake Lively was trying to turn it around on the interviewer, thinking the interviewer was like being sexist, etc. But technically the interviewer was asking the question because she was about fashion. So Blake Lively went into this interview with a chip on her shoulder. And it's probably because she's never had to actually like earn anything herself ever in her whole life.
Yeah. Anyway. Now I like she's getting canceled, but like I find it interesting to know that anyone out there didn't think that Blake Lively was probably a huge bitch in real life. She would definitely call you fat.
Well, but you realize there's a lot of people who would call you fat that still like people. So I'm sure a lot of her fans are people who would call you fat.
Probably.
There's a lot of people in the world like that. Mean girls like mean girls often.
Mm-hmm. And they also call each other fat. Mean girls. All right, what's next?
Okay.
Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
Three people will care about this.
Guys, no one's going to care, but Little Shop of Horrors is being put on by it's called
Algonquin.
Algonquin. I can never say that, which is a famous theater house. I don't remember where it is, but Latrice Royale is going to be playing Audrey too. And this photo gives me the feeling that they're going to have her on stage. Like, she's not going to be backstage.
Oh, true. And also the fact that like in the rehearsals, because you can see the rehearsals on TikTok, a couple clips, and they're singing like at each other.
Yeah. She's
just fully holding not a rag, a full towel
like dabbing sweat off, which you know what, if this is in New York City and summertime, baby, I get it. I get it. And they made her wear pants, so I get it, girl. If she could get up there in a little sundress or something, maybe she'd be better, but I get it. And big girl, I get it. I'm a big boy and I sweat within 1 second of being outside.
Oh yeah, me too. Any temperature change, awful. I'm fully sweating.
Awful. Now, I have been sticking it out with Canada's Drag Race.
Okay.
I believe there's only one episode left. It's fine. It's fine. Spoiler alert, this week they like figured out a way to get rid of Fierce Delicious so that they could set up Lemon to win.
Oh, okay.
And okay, fine.
You're going to stick with it.
There's one episode left. But I'm predicting that Lemon will win, but I could have probably predicted that from the start. And so I loved it. I mean, I will watch almost any of this shit, put it on, I'll watch it. But I will say, this week, they premiered Global All-Stars. And now this, I'm actually excited about and into. They have already put 2 episodes on Paramount Plus in the United States. They also have the very first episode on YouTube for free. So if you guys want to go watch it on YouTube for free, go watch the first episode, and it might make you want to go watch the rest. But what's really cool here is they have one queen representing each country or each like franchise of the show. So instead of like Canada versus the world, where they have 3 Canadians, 3 Americans, and like 1 UK person, 1 German, this one literally, it has queens from everywhere. So it's really cool. It's a lot of people that maybe you haven't seen or you haven't seen a lot. Again, with these shows like Canada versus the World, they keep putting the same queens over. Like we've seen Alexis Mateo. Now, while she's an entertaining, amazing, great queen, we've seen her now like in 4 different seasons.
Oh, she's in this?
She's in Canada versus the World.
Oh yeah, there she is. Okay.
But in Global All-Stars, I'm going to go through each of the queens and I'm going to talk. The first 2 episodes, the first episode, you meet all of them, which is really awesome that they did that, because then they kind of split it up where they only have half of the queens do their routine. They do like a talent show, and they have like half the queens do theirs the first episode and judge them. And then they do half the queens, the second half do their talent in the second episode and judge them. Okay. But no one goes home in the first 2 episodes. So it's really like, you just get to see everyone's talent. You get to get a judge of like, okay, I'm meeting this person. It's really, really cool. And
I like that they have talent shows in the first episode, because then at least if a queen goes home first, there is a little fault of her own in there. Like, well, yeah,
you had almost total control of what you got to do, and you chose to do whatever happened. All of these all of these queens are like fucking cool. They all have really top-notch, high drag, amazing outfits. They really chose well in who they chose. So here I'm going to just go through some. This is Vanity Vane from Drag Race Sweden. Okay. She's fine. She was fine for me. She did like a song, an original song where she's on a bed, and I was really hoping they would spin the bed around, and they didn't. It just kind of stayed in one spot. Now, if she'd have been on the bed and then they spun the bed and had guys like all over, fine, great. Then we have Tessa Testicle, which I fucking hate this name. I absolutely hate this name. This woman, breaking news, Gary 2.0 is already engaged.
It's getting better and better, you guys. This is getting better and
you
better.
were going to talk about Teen Mom, and then we didn't even talk about it in the rundown.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll talk. Okay, I'll
talk about it in your
just
thing.
Remember, yeah, because there's a lot going on. All right.
Okay, Tessa Testicle. I hate the name, but fine. She's from Drag Race Germany. Her claim to fame is that she lip sync 4 times and then got eliminated finally. But she also came in 8th place, meaning she was in the bottom 2 at the first 4 episodes of her season. So my hope is a little low for her. But she's pretty cute in the first couple episodes. Okay. She decides she wants to be in the House of Edwards because she's smart. And of course, you're going to want to hitch yourself to Alyssa Edwards on this shit. Like, come on. Soa Demuse. She's from Drag Race France. And maybe she could tell us how to say La Douleur Exquise. Exquisite.
Exquisite.
Soa Demuse, she was really fucking cool on her first season. I watched the season of Drag Race France. She is a cabaret singer, and so she did this number that was like in French. No one really could it was like very artistic, and she does all this like movement at the end, and it's artistic in French.
Very dramatic.
It's artistic in French, and you know what?
I kind of like it. Yeah.
I love it. I loved her ass. She's fabulous. Hope she stays around for a while. Now from Canada's Drag Race, we have
Pythia.
Okay, Meg. The sound quality for every single number was so fucking bad. I couldn't understand the words for like any of them. It's like they had I'm convinced what they did was they played the sound in the studio, like the music.
Yeah.
And then just used the microphones to pick up the sound in the studio, as opposed to like imposing the music in later or something.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was losing my mind. Every single number, I couldn't understand what was happening. If they had a song, I was like, huh? Like even Alyssa's number that, was great. I was like, what she's saying? Now this is Pythia. She's pretty cool. I love her.
Don't know.
She's really cool. She's conceptual, etc. She did a whole clown number where she reads a book and RuPaul wasn't feeling it.
Okay.
But we'll see how she progresses through the competition. Then we have Nehelenia from Drag Race Italia, and they were eating her up. I love this promo look, personally. She looks awesome. And she is like a self-proclaimed pop star. So she did like a pop star-y number and was pretty fabulous, but her claim to fame is she was never in the bottom on her season, but still didn't win somehow. Then we have Miranda Lebrão from Drag Race Brazil. I love this outfit because she looks like a soccer ball. I think it's hilarious and great. She's pretty funny. She did a trapeze act where she loses her wig and blah, blah, blah. I really liked her. I think she's pretty funny. I can't wait to see her. And it's so cool to see all these different people together. I thought that was really
Brazil.
awesome.
I thought it had a Z in it.
It does usually have a Z in it, but I think in Brazil, it's Brasi. I think for non-Brazilian, it's Brazil.
Okay.
Brazil.
But I wasn't totally wrong. Okay.
No, they made a total mistake. Amanda, call up World of Wonder. Tell them they made a mistake on this poster. Then we have Queen Kong from Drag Race Down Under. Loved her on her original season. She's pretty fabulous. Amanda said she, I think, looks like that queen that we know.
Oh, I mean, not
reminded them of that queen.
It's like a different nationality now that I see it up close. Okay, but sure.
I love her. She's great. She did a pop song type thing too. Couldn't really understand the words, but she ate. Holy shit. She was eating. That's all I can say. Then we have Kitty Scott Claus from Drag Race UK. She was pretty great. And I see like our numbers are just dropping.
It's okay.
So I'm going to wrap this baby up. Kitty Scott Claus. She was great. Loved her on her original season. She's coming off as a little basic compared to some of the other girls, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens. We have Galovado from Drag Race Mexico. And baby, this is the trait of the season. She did like a pole dancing thing. And she is so fine and great. I can't wait to see her as well. Then we have Eva LaQueen. Love her. She's from Drag Race Philippines, and her number was hilarious. I was shitting myself. She does this whole thing about how to make rice. It was like a song about how you make rice, but then
English, or how do they do that?
I'm pretty sure that part of the casting was they made you had to be able to speak English.
Gotcha. Okay.
In order for it to work. I don't think RuPaul would be able to handle all that. No. She's fabulous. She did this number about like rice, and she's like, what am I gonna do while it's cooking? Oh, I really like swords. And she like pulls out these swords, and then she like fights a dragon. And
cool.
I mean, like, she's like, it was funny. It had a fun twist. Then we have Athena Likis, and I'm pretty sure she's saying a song. I can't really remember. She's fine, but I think they're gonna really like her. But I also think she seems kind of basic. But again, it's the first 2 episodes. Then we have the hometown queen, Alyssa Edwards, and baby.
Oh yeah, it looks like they're already setting her up to win. Hey, based on like TikToks that I've seen,
I think she's gonna definitely be in the top.
I think there is
no way she won't be in the final.
Just production wise, exactly. Like she should be, because it was like she's representing Drag Race. Really.
Yeah, she's before all those every other girl is on the legacy that she built in a way.
Yeah.
Well, what I will say is, and now I may be being judgmental, and it probably has to do with aging. Okay, so I'm gonna sound bad here, but I think she's slowed down a little bit in a way. Like, do you remember on her original season, you know, when she did like the when she would lip sync and stuff, she just was like I don't know how to even describe. She'd burn while she danced or whatever they'd say. And then so she did her number and it was like fine, but her face just kind of is like very, I don't know if it's plastic surgery or there's just less like I don't know. I totally agree, Meg. I think so. Meg says that she wants Alyssa to win, but the 200K would totally like change all those other girls' lives, which is true. One thing I did hear about Alyssa Edwards is that when she goes and does gigs at clubs, she gives all the tips that she gets from the audience to the local queens. She says, you know, nice. I make enough doing mine, and she gives all their tips to them. So.
All right, great. Go Alyssa. One of my faves.
I love Alyssa. You know, I don't know. I think we've said, I don't know if I'd want to, you know.
Work with her?
I don't know. You know, it's hard to say, like, if I'd find her annoying. I think there are parts of her that are probably annoying. People say she's late and probably very diva-y.
That would annoy me a lot.
Well, the lateness would drive me up the wall because
it's just such a disrespectful.
You know, there's 2 minutes late and then there's like 3 hours
also
late.
Consistently like Mitch. This is why I can never work between me and Mitch from Doughboys. Also, I am not attracted to him in any way. But
is he a late one? Is he late?
Yeah, but he's like also it's like a bit now, and he thinks it's like really cute. But like they'll meet guests at restaurant, like they'll have like a guest that like meets them at the restaurant. Like Judd Apatow is meeting them, and like Mitch shows up late, but it's zany because that's just Mitch's thing. It's like, no, you're disrespectful.
Well, maybe now they're doing it as a bit.
No, because Weiger is annoyed. Yes.
Well, maybe that's a bit too.
It's not a bit.
I know you want to believe that your Doughboys are very real and nothing's produced. But, you know, if you want real shit, come to the Pod in the City podcast because we're real.
We're telling more truths over on our Patreon than the Doughboys are telling on there.
I've been thinking about that this entire time now. Hey, guys, if you're not subscribed, this is a good time. It's 37 minutes in. If
we're not then you have to promise to not cut the story you told then. It's kinky.
Okay, I'm scared about the other part and people judging me for what I've done.
Oh, no, that's nothing. You're fine. You're fine.
What if someone quits the Patreon because of that?
Well, bye. All right, let's keep going here.
Anyway, all right. I know people have been clamoring. What's up with Raygun? What's up with the Australian breaker Raygun? You know, the one who famously got 0 points in the Olympics and basically colonized her way into the Olympics.
Yeah, that's not great either. She should have just like gone away, like bye, and that's enough. But
I'm seeing TikToks of her dancing in the streets of Australia and people like cheering for her.
Yeah, no, see, I saw that and I think I said last time, well, that's great for her. She's making, like, you know, she could go and be embarrassed but now we find out how she got in, which was Australia didn't have breaking. And she just created her own like team and like
her husband was like
a judge. She had people like her friends compete against her. So it was not like that cute. So go away. But she made this like apology kind of video. She's like, I wasn't doing this to me. I knew I wasn't gonna win, but I was trying to make my country proud.
There's part of me that really wishes I had the audacity of someone like her, because like I could never go up and do what she did.
People are saying, no, John, you don't have to cut it. You didn't say anything bad or crazy. No. We're talking about the one.
We're talking about this week. Wednesday. And I'm literally sweating right now thinking about the judgment that's going to be coming in. I'm like, anyway, that's our girls episode. Dropping.
It didn't even faze me when you were telling me.
11 or midnight or something.
Yeah. Tomorrow midnight. All right, what's next? Just a little bit of Canadian news.
A little bit of Canadian news. I guess this scab came over there to go. Stupid John Krasinski, I guess, has gone over to make a commercial for, what's it called?
Rogers, which is like there's Rogers and Telus. Those are our two cell phone things. So it's like Sprint in the US.
Okay. So he went there and made a commercial, and people are pissed because why?
Because okay, so when SAG-AFTRA was on strike and the Writers Guild was on strike, yeah, it's a big controversy. Yeah, see, I just heard about this. So when they were striking, Canada's union, which I think is called ACTA, was totally supportive. I mean, albeit I will say I had no idea Canada was being that supportive because you don't hear about them on the news. But they were so now, which I also did not know this, but ACTA is on strike. So the Canadian actors and I think writers are also on strike. Mm-hmm. So this is not great, John Krasinski. He came over, did this douchey ass Rogers.
Basically, other actors. So if you're not understanding what we mean by being on strike and everything, the actors weren't willing to work because their needs weren't being met. So John Krasinski decided to fly across the border and go take a job from a Canadian actor.
Yeah.
You know what, John Krasinski? Money. Go back to where you came from.
He literally is making like only 75% of like the US dollar if he's making Canadian money.
You know they're paying him well though.
Yeah,
he looks hot in the commercial, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's something about him. But yeah, not
there
great,
is something
John
about
Krasinski.
Him, baby.
Like he's like dancing on a boat, and like the slogan is like "dance like no one's watching."
He's being zany. Are they trying to like market him as they're gonna make a movie musical with this bitch in it? Oh, they're gonna try and force him on us in a musical, Amanda.
Does he sing? Does he like sing like on the DL? Like
he's probably.
I feel like that would have come out by now. He would have made himself sing in The Office, maybe.
Oh, you're right. Well, I think now at least, because now he seems really full of himself. At least by now he would have created some. Oh, I think so.
I like that when during COVID he did that YouTube series, that like good news thing. Remember that? That was nice. It was better than the Imagine video.
I think that I lost my train of thought about him. I don't really care about this bitch anymore. Yeah, goodbye, John Krasinski.
Bye.
Don't go steal jobs from Canadian actors, you bastard.
Yeah. Oh, Justine, he would not call us me fat. I think John Krasinski is nice. Well, except I think Emily Blunt would call me fat because she told that story about that waitress and she referred to her as fat. That had nothing to do with the story.
I think John Krasinski back in the day when he was in Smiley Face, he might not have called you fat, but now he definitely would because now he's all beefed out and
just like Chris Pratt. It happens. All right, what's next?
Eugene, the Levys, they're teaming up to host the 2024 Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
I don't really care about those.
You don't?
I am so over. I can't think of the last time I actually watched an award ceremony.
Season.
I love award season too, but I pretty much just read the award winners afterwards because the garbage that goes along with it is annoying to me.
But it's so fun because sometimes Will Smith will walk up on stage and slap his rock.
Okay, but that's what I watch on TikTok. I will say though,
so much better when you're
5 years down the line, if I have the opportunity to host the Oscars, please no one use this clip against me. He does have Ryan Reynolds vibes. He does seem slightly nicer. I would definitely fuck both of them, but I think I wouldn't want to be their friend. I think we'd have superficial friendships, probably.
Yeah, sure, but that's okay. It's good to have those.
Now we're going to get into there was a whole slew of Vanderpump news.
Wait, should I really quickly do the Teen Mom thing?
You were going to do that in your section.
No, because that has nothing to do with the wormhole. So let me just get Teen Mom out of the way. Teen Mom, do we have a picture of Teen Mom that we keep up here?
No.
Well, anyway, Teen Mom, what have I been saying each week, John? About next chapter?
It sucks?
Yes, but why has it been especially sucking lately?
Janelle hasn't been on it, and Amber hasn't been on it.
Oh my God, you do listen to me. He likes me. Amber is not. Well, you're fine. Amber has not been on it, right? So, like, I've been saying, like, she must not be filming. No. They knew what they were doing here.
They were doing a vacation or something.
They're keeping it on the DL because she has not appeared physically on the show. She's been discussed in that one episode with the guys trip, but she has not appeared in an episode since like right, like the week that her ex-fiance Gary went missing. Okay. So now, then we find out in that guy's trip that Leah, her daughter, wants Christina to adopt her, right? And she wants to like not be Amber's daughter anymore, basically. So I watched this episode that aired a few days ago, the next chapter. It sucked. But the last minute was next week on Teen Mom. And oh, baby, it is fully centered on Amber. It's going to be that Macy and Caitlin call each other. They're like, we need to go to Indiana and like physically be with Amber for when she finds out that Leah wants Christina to adopt her. So it shows them flying to Indiana. Amber's there. They go to her house. They're chilling on the couch. Gary, Amber's ex-fiance, now proposes to her on camera in front of Macy and Caitlin. So we get to see that in 3 days from now.
Are you like the edging session that's going on over there?
If it's good, me and Jody are doing, like, you know how we do girl dinner? That's what next week's girl dinner is just going to be, a recap of that. If it's bad, we'll do a different topic. But if it's good, we're going to do girl dinner. So sweet. But Justine just said that now he's re-engaged to someone else, which is just so beautiful.
I can't even like settle my mind on going on a date with someone, and these people are engaged to 2 different people in 1 year. The fuck?
I don't know.
Anyway,
it seems like there's something going on there, but
okay. Now Vanderpump Rules news. A big thing. Ariana Madix's brother Jeremy was busted for pot possession, over 100 pounds of weed. Which, are you stupid? This doesn't even make sense. He was flying from Florida to Germany?
Orlando to Germany. So Justine was telling me all about this because I was like, oh, like that sounds weird. Like what an idiot, because it's illegal in California. But it seems like it's a drug mule situation. He gets caught with that much weed, 100 pounds. And Orlando is apparent, like Florida's
at airport. Like he's trying to fly on a plane. He's not just like at his house and has 100 pounds of weed. He's like,
right. He's clearly taking it to like distribute.
Yeah.
Anyway, hang on. Let me cough really quickly.
This guy has been a piece of shit for a while, it seems.
Really?
Well, this happened actually in February, is what I found out. This situation happened in February. And what then in the timeline of things, he wasn't charged until now, I think is what happened. This happened in February. After that, he went and said that basically Ariana didn't care about him. And he proposed to his girlfriend, like with Scheana, I think. Some like weird thing where people were like, what is he doing? Why isn't he's not supporting his sister and whatever? Well, seems like he's a piece of crap. Not saying you're a piece of crap for being a drug mule.
Justine, what did you say that like, because Florida's super strict with this type of shit. Like it's one of the strictest. I think she said that he could spend the rest of his life in jail.
Justine did say that he could go to prison. Like people are saying he's going to go to prison for the rest of his life. But I also saw a TikTok that basically said like, it wouldn't be like they weren't acting like it was like that big,
I feel like he'll get some jail time, but we'll see. But it's like Ariana, like this poor girl is just trying to like live her life, like and like enjoying her success, and now her stupid breath, like this is happening. She has to now contribute more money to more court cases.
I think she's probably just like, oh well, bye.
Yeah.
Maybe that was actually what happened. Is he had the thing happen in February. Ariana was not supportive of him and was like, you need to get your shit together. And so then he went against her and like went with her friends and like was a douche.
Maybe. He was still hanging out with Sandoval.
Just as big of news. Ann Maddox, y'all. Ann Maddox, famously from a few episodes of Vanderpump and then...
Yeah, Tom's assistant. And she's like a little too bubbly.
Yeah. She was an actress, but she was working at...
Something about, well, first she was working for Tom Sandoval, then Ariana stole her away from Sandoval, or Ariana, Anne's like, let me do it, Ariana, because Ariana was looking for an assistant. So then she completely fucked over Tom. So went to work with Ariana. She's working at something about her. But now it's like, now she posts, because Anne is starting her own podcast. And she is promoting her podcast by putting a bunch of weird links on her story and then writing, well, my hours got cut at the shop, so I have no choice but to have this succeed. Please vote for my podcast so we can get host, read ads, and pay my rent. Thank you. So basically, why would she say, my hours just got cut at the shop, so I have no choice but to have this succeed? It's like, do you want to like work for anything?
I think this is just kind of like fluffed up. And I actually think
she wrote this though.
Well,
she's making it sound like, isn't that shady? What if you were Ariana and Katie? Because now they look like dicks.
Oh, I don't think that at all.
Said her hours got cut at the shop. The shop is doing very well. So this seems like not great business practices. On Anne's part.
I'm not reading it into it that deep, probably. I would say that she is on the new spinoff show that they're making about something about her. That's what I've heard in this last week, is that there's going to be a something about her spinoff show because, and here is the evidence that people have been proposing, is that one, Andy Cohen went to the opening of something about her. He never goes to the opening of anyone's shit ever.
Oh yeah. And also it seems like Vanderpump's not coming back, right? Because
well,
Tom and Tom are doing all
it's
these
on
events.
hiatus. It's on hiatus, right?
Right. But that leads into our next story too.
The other reason is because they have recently hired a girl at something about her that has been on a reality TV show before.
Okay.
And has
this makes sense then.
Like is kind of like really like higher than like working at something about her sandwich shop, and people are like, that would be like a complete step down from anything she's ever like. Oh, she's giving it all up to go like work in a sandwich shop. And so that's why people are speculating. And then Ariana was on Watch What Happens Live last week, very composed, very on, and one of the audience questions that they send in, you know, that Andy Cohen's assistant writes, is like, would you ever consider doing a spinoff around something about her? And Ariana was like, sure, that sounds fun. And then Andy Cohen's like, haha, well, like, not saying that confirms anything, but it just seemed very much like.
Can we talk about that? Watch What Happens really quickly, because my favorite moment there, I'm like taking off all my nails right now. I can't do it anymore.
Perfect timing.
But Andy Cohen asked her, so do you actually think that Tom didn't mean to sue you? And her reaction was just, And just the look of pure disgust on her face was just such a relatable thing for when you really just get the ick from your ex and you just don't want to be asked about him anymore. And she also very demure, Nicole says. All right. What else? Oh, well, speaking of other reasons why we think that the show's getting canceled, Vanderpump, is that now breaking, Scheana and Lala officially joined the Valley cast. They've been wanting that for all of last season. So
I've heard some deeper bits about this too. So we know that Jax Taylor is, I guess, not on it because he's
not
exploring
in rehab.
His mental
not
health,
in rehab, right?
Or something. And Scheana is pretty much filming with them nearly full time. And Lala seems at this point to be more in like a friend of pop in situation. So, but this, I gotta say, bravo, you're kind of stupid here, because audience, like the people, I have not seen a single person gunning to have Scheana and Lala on
not at all.
the Valley. In fact, most of the reaction that I've seen is, no, we don't want them. And if you put them on there, we're not going to watch it because we hate them. And so I don't know. They thought that because Jax wasn't there, but like, what did Jax provide last season of the Valley except acting like a nut job like he always does? I mean, I guess.
Well, I don't know. But I mean, good for them. It just doesn't seem like the show is coming back at all. And I was thinking, well, what about Katie, though? Because they like Katie. But if they're doing this something about her spinoff, then that takes care of Katie. All right. Okay. What's next?
Oh, we're out of news and or whatever it's called, topics. And we're into, let me find it. Oh, God.
Here it is. I got it.
Alrighty. So, I did go see Trap.
All right. This is the Nepo Baby movie that we were talking about.
Originally, when I had heard about this, I didn't realize it was a Nepo Baby project, but it very clearly was. It was disgusting, and I hated this movie. I hated everything about it.
Oh, no.
And in fact, I think M. Night Shyamalan should be ashamed. Shame on you, M. Night. Shame.
Well, he like Nepo Baby. He nepos himself into every movie because he makes little cameos.
Now, okay, I had some actually, since this movie has been out a couple weeks now, I do feel it is okay if I give slight spoilers.
I wanted to ask this. Does the trailer give away the movie?
Pretty much.
Okay, so
I would say almost nothing surprising happens. So the idea here, spoiler alert, everyone, if you are so upset, if you didn't watch the trailer of this, yeah, skip this part.
Yeah, okay.
So this guy, Josh, what's his name? Josh Hartnett. He plays a dad who's taking his daughter to a concert. And we've come to find out within the first 2 minutes of the movie that this concert, because, okay, God, first of all, this is on my list. The dialogue of this was so bad. So bad. I can't even get over how bad it was.
All right.
Just brace yourself if you really can't. I'm not even that much of a stickler on dialogue in something, but like, it was so absurdly terrible that I like wanted to scream. Okay. Within the first 5-10 minutes of the movie, we find out because Josh Hartnett goes to buy his daughter a shirt for the concert, and he makes buddy with the worker behind the table. Yeah. And the guy behind the table's like, "Oh man, it's crazy tonight." They
this
totally
is all in the trailer.
Oh, they did? He's like, they totally set this whole place up. They're trying to catch a serial killer. And at every single entrance, they're waiting. And it's like an entire trap and blah, 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 blah. Like he gives away to this. And guess what, guys? Josh Hartnett's a serial killer. And you know that within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what the trailer is indicating.
The entire thing is literally then just him like trying to like think of weird ways to like get out of this place.
And now, was there a twist at all? Or was that supposed to be the twist? That's literally.
Well, I would say the only twists are that I kept thinking the movie would be over and it just kept going.
The best kind of twist.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, well, I guess I'm not seeing that.
So, okay. 5 minutes in, a woman is drunk. He's walking with his daughter, Josh Hartnett. They're like, la-di-da-di-da. First of all, also, this movie takes place in broad daylight, and it is about a concert, okay? So everything outside is broad, bright daylight. Now, I don't know what concert we're going to, that it's pure broad daylight outside, but that really killed the buzz, for me here. It should have been all nighttime, instead, broad daylight, all right? We have Josh Hartnett walking around. He's like, la-di-da. He's already heard this is a trap that they're going to kill, trying to find a serial killer. He's seen 50 million cops. He's walking around with his daughter. His daughter is like doing something. And he's like, he sees a woman. There's a woman standing at the top of a staircase. Okay. She's drunk. She's like kind of staggering around. He walks over to the woman and pushes her down the staircase.
Okay. Okay.
And then it's just like, la-di-da-di-da-da.
Okay, so that's just to indicate his serial.
I'm just indicating that, like,
that he's mean.
That they're saying that they have set up this entire trap to catch a serial killer, and in the midst of it, in a stadium, he's pushing a person down the stairs, and they're not like alerted. There's no tip off of that. What ends up happening is he walks around this stadium. He finds himself in like private access areas that no way he should have been in. He walks into a room that is a briefing of all of the SWAT team. Okay. He's not in SWAT team outfit. They're all in all black SWAT team, metal, like helmets. He walks into the room and is like, stands in the back, listens. Well, there's a person addressing all the SWAT team. They don't say anything to this random man, just like standing there like, Then he walks through the group of SWAT team and is like, ooh, gotta get some coffee. This is the break room. Like he pretends like he's in the break room. and they're looking for a serial killer. What I didn't understand is, tell me, how do they know that there's a serial killer, but they don't know who the serial killer is?
Also, in the history of true crime, serial killers are statistically mostly white males about that age.
Well,
so
that's what I'm saying. I would think there would be some profiling happening of this man.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
All right.
So he ends up now. Haley Mills is in this movie, y'all. Haley Mills is the head of investigation. Haley Mills.
From like Disney, from
Parent Trap, from like 1960.
Yeah. Okay,
she's very old at this point, and I'm like, and they would do these things where it would be like a scene of her like backlit, like standing in a doorway, and it's like, oh, I've got all these men. I've trapped so many men before, and it's like this like small, like thin old lady, and I'm just like, I don't know what M. Night was trying to do here, but it was bad. All right. I have a few more things. Now, my big issue here, and I believe the entire reason I like the premise and the idea of this movie. I would never have given away that he is the serial killer within the first 5 minutes of the movie, because actually that ruins your whole movie and makes it boring. This is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Right. And so she's supposed to be like Taylor Swift, right?
Okay, I'm going to commend her. She allegedly wrote all the songs that were in this movie, okay, because it all centers around her concert. Now, I understand your daughter really likes music and wants to be an artist, but you don't make an entire movie to try and force us to believe that she's a pop singer. And she's fine, but like here's like what her songs are. It's like, oh, baby, I'm lost at the night. Come find me. Oh, baby, it's night. I'm lost. Come find me. Like, I don't think it takes a freaking, like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to commend the Nepo baby who's given all the opportunity in the world to have a movie put up for her so she can write shitty pop songs. And now I have to commend her. Oh, good job, sweetie. You wrote the most basic pop song I've ever heard in my life. Now, again, friends, I am an ultimate hater of, like, I am such a jealous hater because I am a Nepo baby too. I will say I do work with my mom, so that does make me somewhat of a Nepo baby. I just wish I was an entertainment industry Nepo baby, because it seems like really they don't actually have to do much. They just kind of like get like, here, you wrote a song. You're really good at writing like songs, I guess. Like, I'm going to make an entire movie where the premise is that you're a pop star.
All right.
Now, I do want to say, what they should have done, it does take a turn where the one way that he can get out of the arena.
Don't give like a full spoiler. Because so far you've given away nothing that wasn't in the trailer. So
I'm assuming this is in the trailer. Because do you see a part where she's like on a cell phone in the trailer?
No.
Oh, well, maybe that's it. And I don't know. All I know is the girl, they should have kept her on the stage, because once she had to like do acting and be like scared and worried. You know what? I think this is I know it seems like I've been doing this now for the last 5 minutes, but now I'm mourning blue. Okay. I just thought of this, and this really reminded me of the movie I saw last week, which was Cuckoo. And it pisses me off. And I think I've complained about it before, so sorry, but you're going to have to listen again. What is the trend of when something scary or something freaky or horrible happens in front of you? Why is it dead face acting? Why are we all doing the Sydney Sweeney now? Why? Because that's all this girl did when it was scary times. It was like,
that's like the show The Idol that I watched that was by the guy that did Euphoria. It was pretty much all of this is the exact same thing. Nepo baby, bad acting, bad songs.
The Cuckoo movie too was like this crazy witch thing was like chasing Hunter Schafer, and every reaction was like, you cannot tell me that if you're being chased or something, you're not going to be like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be screaming at least one scream or something. I don't think I would just automatically go into like.
Well, hopefully you never find out.
Anyway, I would like to direct a film because there would be no reactions such as that in a film that I would direct. I need realism. I did see a preview for the new Beetlejuice movie. They're releasing clips. And Catherine O'Hara, it's a clip focusing on her, and it actually made me laugh. And
Okay.
I'm kind of looking forward to the movie slightly. What she's doing is it's like her like sitting there, like she's like, it's just a focus on her. And she's like, like screaming, like all tortured. And then like Lydia comes out, who's now grown. And she's like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm recording my art piece. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. So it's like, you think she's like actually in pain. And anyway.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's that oldest book in the joke.
Okay.
I do want to give a slight preview. I'm going to see Alien Romulus. I tried to see it last night. Things got away from me.
You went to a movie last night?
I wanted to.
Late. Okay.
I wanted to.
I fell like right asleep. I can't believe that you were gonna go to a movie.
I was gonna go to the movie at like 9:45, and then someone sat in my seat. You guys know my row. Someone, not when I was there.
Oh, this was when you were trying to.
Someone had already bought it, so I was fine. Because I watch it. And this is a movie that's coming out, I think, this week, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I haven't seen very many previews of it. This is directed by a Nepo baby, Zoe Kravitz. This is directed by Zoe Kravitz, a Nepo baby. So
okay, at least Osmond's in it.
At least Zoe Kravitz has cool parents that I feel like instilled real artistry in her, you know? So I feel like this is going to be cool. It has Channing Tatum playing basically like a billionaire who invites people to his island, and then I guess crazy shit happens, which I love.
A movie with like Elizabeth Banks coming out that looks good too.
It's called Makeup or something like that.
Yeah, it's
something to do with makeup.
Something to do with makeup. It looks good, and I think it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's called, but check that out.
I don't remember either. Okay.
What?
I'm done now. Yay!
All right, yay! Okay, well, this one's gonna kind of segue into my wormhole, I guess. But
this is a rough. Well,
it's a rough transition. Well, this part is just kind of news, but it'll kind of get into my little wormhole. My wormhole this week is personal. So, and I feel like this is a safe space. John's not even paying attention to me anymore. But this
I have a lot of crazy shit happening at work. My other job, like crazy shit. That I'm like, I mean, Amanda's like, whatever.
We have like 10 minutes left, so just don't worry. Okay, but Matthew Perry, this was actually shocking to me that there were arrests made in Matthew Perry's ketamine death. That some of these text messages are really fucked up. That there was like a bunch of people arrested. And like people were selling him like $12 hits of ketamine for like $1,500. And the text message.
There was like, I guess, text of being like, how much do you think we can get from this stupid idiot? Or
yeah,
like, crazy
I think the reason that, because like you're not seeing a lot of comments saying, oh, well, you know, he did it to himself. It's most comments are like, he tried so hard and he did. And like, have you ever like listened to or read his book? Probably
no, but I've heard some of the things you've said about.
Okay. Well, anyway, the book starts out with him going, hi, Matthew Perry, and alcohol is going to kill me one day. Like he like kind of knew that going in. Anyway, and I also, if you want to consume that book, I would almost recommend you do it in audio form because he sounds I think he's sober when he's reading it, but I think it's been so many years of abuse to his body that he just talks kind of with a slur. So it kind of adds to it. Anyway, this book and anyway, I hope all those people like, I don't know, good, fucking put them away. so fucked up. And I think he just really helped a lot of people with that book, because it really, if you see how much he tried so hard, so many times. He went to rehab so many times. He spent millions and millions and millions of dollars to like try to get sober. And he just knew he kind of knew this is how it would end. This book, and also Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun has a book called Guts, which is about how she quit drinking. Anyway, all that to say, I feel like this is an okay place to say this, because I don't talk about it a lot, but I can officially say that I am 6 months sober from alcohol.
Yay!
Yeah. So, but I will say that both of those books really did help a lot. I listen to Matthew Perry's book all the time. So yay, I'm doing great. And I just wanted to give you a little health update because of that. Before I quit drinking, I was in the point where I wasn't emotionally addicted to it really. It was more my body. I would get so sick if I didn't at least have something. My body was starting to shut down. I was getting blood tests all over the place. They remember when I got all those blood tests done, and I was I had all these doctors sending me, and I had to get 29 vials of blood drawn.
Oh yeah.
A couple months ago or a month ago. Anyway, all the blood results came back. Okay. So I wake up, I don't ever have hangovers. My body has re-regulated itself. I also quit at the same time I started Ozempic. So I don't really know what exactly is contributing, but the way they're working together really helped. Anyway, all my blood tests came back. She said that my blood test, she said it's rare to even see a blood test this immaculate. She's even your liver is pristine. And I'm well, maybe I want to run that test again, but okay. Now, speaking of which, on that note, I also got another result back about my ankle. Now I'm sure
I can't stop looking at Walter because he's just sitting up there in the back.
Mama's sober. She can actually wake up and walk me and shit, and not just waste away all day. Okay, so my ankle. You guys have heard me talk about it. I talk about it all the fucking time. This is what the inside of my ankle looks like. Okay.
Jeez.
So for anyone who didn't know, it doesn't just kind of hurt. It hurts. Every single step I take hurts. It's about at a 2 on a good day, but on a bad day, it's at a 10, just a step. So I've been getting all these follow-ups, and I own a cane. Some days it just really is unbearable. I have to drag my foot to the bathroom. It's been over 2.5 years. So I finally got in with a specialist, and they took 30 x-rays of this foot. I got a cortisone shot. They sent me, this is the x-ray of my foot. They made me walk around, and then he comes in and he's okay, well, we figured out what the problem is. And I circled it here. Do you see that nail right in the middle front there? I call it the Jesus nail. It's going straight down. Do you see that? The screw.
Okay.
I circled it here, right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That where the point is, the thing that it's hitting is directly on a nerve. So every time I take a step, it shoots pain all the way up into my head, basically. So also, here's another fun thing that they discovered in these x-rays right here is there are 2 pieces of floating bone just kind of hanging out in my foot, just floating around. So anyway, the result of this is that now I have to go get another surgery where they rip my whole foot open and they take out these 2 pieces of bone and this screw, and then I get another 2 months.
That'll be good. That'll be fixing it, and then you'll get lots of physical therapy.
No, that's pretty much. They're you're never going to be able to run.
You're not going to duh, but maybe you wouldn't have to hobble.
Maybe. So anyway, that's the update on my health. Anyway, I'm doing great. I feel great, and I have a life again. Do you want to get into
TikTok? You don't stop.
We do.
What do we got?
We do and wrap things up here most times with a little TikTok, and that's where we get most of our news. You could pretty much call all of this TikTok, but lately, which this is strange, because I've been seeing this, I don't know, for months.
Yes. Okay. So you do know what this is.
Yeah.
This is the Jellycat Diner. And every time I see this thing, Okay, first of all, like, oh my God, how much it must kill your soul to have to be one of these people that works here. But the videos it's at
Yeah.
FAO Schwartz in New York. Um, and the concept is that you pick out a stuffed animal that is food, and then the person has to pretend to cook it in front of you using like sound effects and like
Yeah.
sizzle effects. And then
Yeah.
they wrap it up and give it to you. Each of these things is like $40.
I'll say
And
I
I just
have a Jellycat.
Oh my God, but why? Why would you want to own like
I never went to the cafe, and I'll say also I wouldn't buy one now because now I buy Barbies, and they're a much better deal. I get much better. I could buy fucking 9 Barbies for the price of one of these stupid ass things. I think
like
I
look
got
at
one
this
like
person?
5-6 years ago.
So
Maybe longer.
did you stand there and they had to
No,
perform
no.
this in
This
front of you?
is a new thing that they do. Like they sell them at
Oh.
like little gift shops and stuff all over the place.
Okay, but why would any person want to own this burger that is a stuffed animal? What are you going to do with this now?
I wouldn't go there, Amanda. There's a lot of people who like their stuffed burgers with smiley faces on them. They like it.
I feel like the reason you buy this is to like show people, look how much money is nothing to me.
Oh, you
that I can
think?
piss it away on this. Yes.
I think these are actually good for babies, not like the burger ones, but like I've given these to babies before. They have like cute little ones because you can give them, they're from birth. Like they can have them all the way from birth. They're safe for like newborns.
Okay.
And a lot of stuffed animals aren't safe for newborns.
Great. Well, I mean, how much do you think this person's getting paid to act out this?
Not enough.
All day.
And I also think it's cheesy. Like it's just stupid. Like
I
they're
would
pretending
feel
to.
uncomfortable having someone perform this for me. I'd be like, you don't need to do all this. Can you just?
I think as a previous actor and also a person who has like directed kids doing things and et cetera, this doesn't make sense to me because they're doing all this pantomime and all this work. Like right now, he's pretending to grill this burger. I don't see a grill. And in fact, you wouldn't put a burger with a bun on it on a grill anyway. Like
I know.
so it doesn't make sense. Or like they put like a cupcake in a box and then they put like fake frosting on it. What? The frosting isn't there. Like,
yeah. Well, this burger is like $60. So anyway, I just don't get this, but these keep coming up and they're definitely going to come up even more in my feed now. I just think it's such a waste of money and I don't think anyone would want this.
Well, I had a cute week over on TikTok.
Oh, I bet you did.
This guy is Dylan Efron. This is like Zac Efron's brother. He's hot.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, he's hot.
So what happened this past week was he had a little bit of controversy.
That's Dylan Efron. That looks like Zac Efron.
It looks like Zac Efron before he started getting like
for all the
plastic
fillers.
surgery and stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
So he posted a triptych of photos this week. And then I saw this all over everywhere because of course, I'm just going to show the 3 photos. This is the first one.
Okay.
This is the second one.
Okay. It's got those ass dimples.
And this is the third one. So, guys, the second one obviously is the picture that people have been very focused on. In case you can't tell, he's laying partly in the ocean,
up in that ass,
arching that pussy in the air. Like his ass is arched to the gods. Like
if he had a vagina, it would be facing upward.
As a gay man, this is a very desirable position to see a man.
Like it's an invitation into my butthole.
And the way his shorts are laying are very, like, you're seeing not his butt crack, but like almost. So you're seeing like the curvature and just, I think last week I said I like dimples on a back. Anyway, so I've been like, I was not thirsting for him before, but like,
okay.
Now I'm like, throw that arch back, baby. So this was the way that the photos were ordered. So I'm believing that, there's this, then the arch, then he's like laughing about it. Like, but like,
it's so silly. I'm having fun in the sun.
Of course, because this is all over. I now got him on my FYP. Okay.
Yeah.
So he does like travel stuff.
Interesting that you don't follow him though. After all that, you liked this though.
I didn't follow him. No.
Okay.
I probably should.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. Anyway, so he was like looking at a puma or something like that. Like, ooh, there's a puma. Because he goes to like different places. He goes to countries. I'm like, of course, because again, he's not a Nepo baby. He's a Nepo brother. Like, great. You get to go travel all over the world and like pop your ass on a beach. Yay. Anyway, I'm jealous. Obviously, I'm seething in jealousy because I don't look like this and I've never looked like this. And I also don't make millions of dollars by popping it on the beach.
He looks like Aaron Paul in those ass popping videos. Or yeah, he looks like Aaron Paul, right?
He looks like a hotter version of Aaron Paul. I do not think Aaron Paul's hot.
No,
anyway,
I don't. He just looks like him there. All right.
He posted this, and then you guys know me. I can't help myself. I commented, "Why don't you throw him that arch
from the open that doll
with an exclamation point?" And then look at he replied. Dylan Efron replied to my comment.
And then he clicks on this, and it's this fucking 36-year-old gay man.
I'm 38, baby.
Oh,
I don't
the whole
think
account is opening Barbie dolls.
You know what? He probably appreciates authenticity.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is a wholesome person, but he still likes.
I doubt he's wholesome.
No, but your account is very.
Oh, okay. Well, I said, why don't you throw him that arch? And he gave the smiling or the laughing, crying emoji.
And then you loved that.
I was the only person. But of course, this was 57 minutes after it happened. So. Guys, I thought that was a nice little peach to end our week on. And okay, what you got to do, especially if you're here right now, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Also, if you really enjoyed us, I would say go over and check out our Patreon for patreon.com/podinthecity. $6 a month, ad-free early access to our other episodes, and you get a tons of extra shit. You get to hear us tell stories that we're like dreading our digital footprint later on.
Yeah,
that like maybe when I'm 70, someone's gonna somehow hear a podcast where I talk about, the things I talk about. If you want juicy shit, check it out, guys. Juicy shit.
Also, if you're here and you want to just hang out for like 1 minute after we go offline,
yes.
Go and leave another comment.
Yes,
just
please.
Say you love us.
Yeah, we love you guys so much.
Yeah.
I do want to ask the person who sent us the email about thirsting for Steve. Were you offended by me last week? Because I kind of tore it up a little bit. No,
I don't really ever notice, but I thought you were good. Just fine, baby. Okay, guys, we love you. Walter's ready to go. And I think that's it. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next.
We love you guys.
Week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.